Let me know you guys are in here. Let me know what city you guys are coming in from. Anybody in Cali? I'm sending my love to anybody who's in the Los Angeles area. Mm-hmm. Okay. What's up, Florida, Chattanooga, Memphis, Hollywood, California? How you doing over there, Candy? How you breathing over there? Okay. Columbia, Detroit, what's up, y'all? So y'all know me. I feel like I can talk fast, but I just feel like when I hop on here, we just chilling on the couch. You feel what I'm saying? Like, let me take my time. We made it through, barely missed us. The air is bad. Okay. Barely missed us. The air is bad. Yeah. I'm sending love your way. And that your lungs be protected and strong. Yeah. Um, Share this live with anybody you think that can receive from it. Okay. Because I feel like I have a lot to express. We themed, I titled this Affirmations for America, but it's like affirmations for the world for real at this point. Good to see you too. And give people time and space to come into the living room of YouTube, Tony Jones. um, how y'all doing? How y'all doing over there? What's y'all matrix feeling like? Last time I was talking to you all, this was probably the end, like not that long ago, even though it feel like it's a month ago. Um, I'm present. I'm present. Last time I spoke with you guys, it was like close to end of December, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna have to get a job. I don't know. Like I was going through it, and y'all showed up for me. Y'all really did. I expressed to you guys what I'm going through, what I was going through in real time, and I'm not there anymore as emotionally or vibrationally, but it's definitely I've expanded in new territory of graduating from where I was. It's like it's more of an expansive feeling um, from the last time I spoke with you all. I told you guys I am, navigating. Um, just it's what's so funny. You know how it could be like these external circumstances, but your internal world like 10x is it. It's like it could be something that's really on level 5, but your internal world makes it on level 100. Um, so just navigating those waters of being able to really scale the experience that I'm going through in life. And I will, share more about what's happening, but I really want to just create space for us. Um, I will say on a spiritual plane, being a human, as a human being, I am really now more than ever aware of my duality as a quantum spirit soul with a mind, body, you know what I'm saying? Life. bills. Like I can feel my presence, my energy holding space for so many realms of my existence. And not to get into all of that, but I do want to bring up a couple of things. Okay, so follow me here, y'all. Okay, I'm a, what do they call that? Neurodivergent ADHD. So I'm gonna hop. I'm gonna go from Detroit to China, China to Atlanta, the way that my mind be going sometimes. So if y'all ever feel like Tony, come back, we was talk, come back. Just say something in the comments or put the hand in the comments and just say, come back, Tony. Okay. I know some of y'all can relate because any of y'all who listen to my music, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. But yesterday, I think it was yesterday or a day before, this is like the soul inspiration behind um, our live tonight, what I'm about to share with you guys. Um, I know it's a lot going on in this country, but it's a lot going on in the world. So, with that being said, I want to share with you guys why I titled this Affirmations for America. Okay? Um, there was this young woman named Lovey on Threads. She posted um, this quote. I'm sure some of you guys may know who Lovey is. She's a very successful woman and she makes very mindful, um, messaging on her social media. But she said she wasn't supposed to be, meaning the woman who ran for president of the United States, who is the vice president now. Okay. She wasn't supposed to be at the helm of whatever TF, the F is unfolding right now. She wasn't supposed to be at the helm of whatever the F is unfolding right now. I'm really starting to understand that. Because then we would have carried this country on our backs on her behalf as it melts. And that might have broken us even more. So she's basically saying that the vice president wasn't supposed to become president at the helm of everything that's going on right now. She's saying that she wasn't supposed to come into all of the mess that's happening. Even though we've been a mess since we started. Okay. And then she says, because then we would have carried, when she says we would have carried this country, she's talking about, I believe she's talking about women and probably more specifically Black women. She said we would have carried this country on our backs on her behalf as it melts, meaning that if she would have won the presidency, we would have, just because she was a woman, just because she got into that role, we would have supported her and carried her and did whatever we needed to do to support her presidency and represent, our responsibility for her success of her being a president. And so she's basically saying, you know, glad she didn't, because we would have went all the way in and that would have broken us because we're already tired. So I ended up responding to it. And this comment got about 10,000 likes, around almost 900 comments, 476 reshares, and 568 sends. Okay. So this was a real like potent post on Threads. And so I commented and said he had to win. He had to win because, and who am I talking about? I'm talking about who is the president now or going to be swearing in office. I said he had to win because we need someone that will force us to rid of our codependency on the political illusion of leadership, freedom, change, and safety. We are being called to connect to Source for self-governance and internal sovereignty for our sense of safety and freedom. We don't need any more beautiful brand ambassadors for the false American dream. Um, we are legit living in a time where we have a greater opportunity to heal from our codependency on governments. What a challenge. But what do I know? I'm just taking notes. Someone said, I'm in tears right now. I love seeing Black people try and conquer their deep-seated anti-white hate they have had for so long. I'm proud of Black people finally engaging in self-reflection. Yeah, I'm grateful that humanity is finally dropping into more self-reflection. I mean, look at the times we're living into. Isn't that like the only way right now? Is to really reflect on ourselves, and how codependent we've become on external realities. And I emphasize we because I'm including myself in that. Yeah, I basically said we needed a president. We needed a someone in office not that did not make us feel comfortable in the false illusion of the American dream of freedom. This country is built and is continues to be built on the backs of us, the energy of slavery, capitalism, colonialism, racism. We have a lot of convenience on, at the mercy of people who labor all day, every day, night and day. When we go shopping, when we go grocery shopping, all like literally empires, industries, companies, small businesses, products have been built on the backs of the exhaustion of human bodies, of women's minds and wombs. You see what I'm saying? And we have benefited and been rewarded from that type of modality of lifestyle. You know? So when I say affirmations for America, is deeper than that. It's acknowledging what has happened to us all because of this country, what has happened to other countries and villages and communities and traditions, customs, untold stories of the violence that has been poured onto the world because of this country. This is not to harp on that. This is just to be aware. Be aware that there is a reckoning happening. And this has nothing to do with an external reality, external events. This has everything to do with what's happening within us. Every time I say we, I'm including myself, okay? Whew, because child, I've been feeling it too. We are being invited. If I was to entertain what I'm perceiving, what I'm feeling, what I'm theorizing and philosophizing and discerning about the current times, is we are being invited to a devotion to the source within and to take our birthright sovereignty over our bodies, over our minds, over our choices and decisions, over our nervous systems, and know and denounce all ties and connections of dependency to governments, external governments, external relationships, external systems, capitalism, consumerism. It's not I want to make sure that this is not landing in an understanding of anti-system. This is about detaching our sovereignty, our will, our nervous system, our sensitivities, our security, our sense of safety to these external worlds and entities and systems. Again, I want to repeat, I'm saying we because I'm included in this. I am literally going through, hey, I am going through things I think a lot of us are going through. I know for me, oh man, it's like holding the tension of not knowing what is happening and what is about to happen, knowing where to go. To my ego is humiliating. Not to my true self, but to my ego is humiliating to have to hold this amount of space for the tension of not knowing what to do, where to go. It's like holding space for what's coming up for me in the I don't know. The amount of identity that I'm shedding freaks me out. It's always freaked me out. Every cycle I've had to let go. And if I'm to be honest with you guys, like, as much as I love affirmation music, as much as I adore the fluidity of the words and the sounds come out of me, I'm detaching from my identity to being an affirmation musician. I'm detaching from that. Not in a way where I'm disconnecting from it, but I'm detaching from any entanglement of my nerves, feeling like this is who I am. And if I don't have this, I don't know who I am. Even though that's not my truth, but my nerves, my ego has entangled with it because it's brought me so many good things. And that's a good thing. It has brought me so many surprises, so many blessings. I see so much of my future and possibility because of affirmation music. Affirmation music has connected me to so many people and has rocked my world inside out, upside down. And feeling that type of dopamine, feeling that type of value in this role I'm playing, it's bound for some entanglements to happen. There's nothing bad about that. But if it's removed, who am I then? How much am I grounded in that? And me not releasing my album is really not releasing my album, because I didn't tell y'all this. The producer that I was telling y'all about in our last live, he ended up releasing a song, one of the songs that we did, and he legally has rights to do that, but he doesn't have legal right to use my likeness or my name. And so when you go to my Spotify and stuff, you can see that song on there. So my lawyer is handling it, and we're dealing with it. But when I tell you, it is it is wild to like experience as an artist and as a medicine sharer for somebody to try and juice the medicine that came from your journey for money, for greed, for control, for vindication of some story that they believe, and be able to be angry about it, be sad about it, be complex about it, be at coming to a peace about it, and trust about it, while feeling like, dang, man, like this is a part of my timeline right now. How did I get mixed with somebody like this? And not finding the logic around not being able to ground in a logic to understand this in a way that makes me feel like, um, oh, I get why this happens. It's like one of those things. It's like, I don't deserve this, you know? It's so wrong. So don't stream that song, y'all. It's called F the System. If y'all see the artwork, it's horrible. Don't play it. Don't stream it. I'm going to let my lawyers handle it, but I'm going to let y'all know. Like, the very artwork is just dark, you know? So, yeah, if y'all know anybody in the legal team at Spotify too, Apple Music, holla at me. But I digress. Let me come back. Let me make a note of that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I also want to speak to, and I don't know where you guys are in your journey and in your timeline, but I have to be, I'm always keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Because not too much on keeping face. No, I don't even know how to do that at this point. When life takes you through some stuff and you know, it's like almost like it's too heavy to keep a face or a mask or try and polish everything, but I'm aware that there's a void happening, like there's a void within me. There's some emptiness there. And to have journeyed so much life, learned so many lessons, have seen unexpected victories, have let so much go. The amount of releasing I have experienced in my life and have returned home deeply to who I truly am over and over and over again. After experiencing all of that, I can be in a January 2025 and say, I feel an emptiness. I feel a void. Where is this coming from? The math is not mathing. I so resonate with that comment. How wonderful is it that you still have space for more divine love to fill you up? It's incredible. It's incredible. And I can feel you know how when the morning breaks and it's like it's not quite daylight, but it's like dark still. It's like I can feel that happening within me. longer than usual, but I can feel that I'm still in the darkness of the void, of the emptiness. And a part of me, a deep part of me is saying it's nothing, this has nothing to do with you particularly. You're feeling something that is a part of the collective. I after around found out a couple of years ago to do some ancestral healing, and it's like it kind of connected me to the nervous system of this planet. Like I can feel things, like my ability to emotionally sense things. Like I've always been that way, but when I start doing intentional ancestral healing work, generational healing of specific wounds of my mother, my grandmother, my great grandmother, all the way down to the human wound, the core wound. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. No, I'm just playing. But when I did that, it's just like I can feel things, and I feel like this void and emptiness is, I'm a part of it, but it's not necessarily particularly about me. It's about acknowledging that we have, those of us who've grown up in the Western culture, we're born into being sons and daughters of the patriarchy and capitalism. And that why won't that get bigger? I was saying that a lot of us who've been born in Western culture, particularly America and Eurocentric cultures and society, have were born into being daughters and sons of capitalism and patriarchy. So a lot of us who went through the K through 12 education system, I can't say everybody who watches this can relate to that, okay? I'm more so speaking to my experience and those of us who were raised in Eurocentric type societies and cultures, specifically in this country of America. And when we go through that K through 12 experience, we are with a system, an education system, an indoctrinating system that takes us away from our parents, our culture, like for most of the day, most of the week, most of the year, and all of our youth developing years. Can you imagine being in a system 18 years of your entire like your developing years, you're away from your family most of the day, most of the week, most of the year, most of your life, your and all of your youthful life. And this K through 12 education system teaches us that we are rewarded, we are valuable when we perform and produce. And when you do that, your family is proud. You get praise, you get that validation, you get that encouragement. When you get that A, or when you get that C and D and E and F, not so much. And so you learn that your identity and existence is valuable by what you do, how you perform, how you memorize, how you can do a thing, perform a thing. It's all wrapped around that, to where you approach everything in life that like that. Your art, relationships, dating, prom, friendships, jobs, college, identity, beauty, everything becomes something you're employed to become better, more worthy. And when you decide to open your eyes, when something wakes you up from being asleep to yourself, and you start to follow that inner voice that says, I am more. There's something more here. Who am I really? What am I here to do and be and have? When you start to get curious, that you enter the path of like you can never go back. You know what I mean? And so there is a grieving of who we thought we were. There is a grief. Let me speak for myself. There's a grieving that I'm experiencing that is child power. We got a snow. I think it's a snowstorm. I don't know if it's happening tonight, but we got snow here in Atlanta, so it's probably. Oh, it's back on because I'm like not too much on the heat. Not too much. Don't play with me. Um. Okay, let me get present with you guys. You said that systems cause people to have nervous system is starting to crash. Yeah, we have to find our true potential, not through the eyes of others. Absolutely. And so, yeah. And so I think that even how I'm running my business, well, how I am operating my business, let me not say running, but how I'm operating my business. Yes, Joe, we are meeting tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And those of you who want to join me, I have a virtual circle called Do the Work With Me, noon tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be creating community care plans. We're going to be holding space for our human experience. This is all about everything we've been doing with ourselves in isolation and solitude. We're integrating that in community. So if you all resonate with that and you feel a yes, like I want to be a part of that, even if you guys have questions for me, join that, okay? That's tomorrow. The link is in my bio and everything, okay? But yes, join. We're on for tomorrow at noon. But I feel like y'all, how I operate my business, it's like I know that it's going to require systems to sustain the abundance that is ripe and ready to pour out into my life. I want that. It's strong. I just see when I zoom out and I look at Toni Jones, I'm like, God, she's freaking amazing. Like, wow, I get to be her. Like, let's set this thing up to where I'm balling. You know what I'm saying? I'm balling out of control. Like, cause I just feel like it's not about just the money. It's about what this energy of abundance means to how I serve, how I share, how I exchange. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the times right now in my life, it's like it's grounding me more that in trust, surrendering, and acceptance. Because there's so many ways and avenues and paths to be successful in my business. However, intuitively, I feel like there are systems that are great, but there's a strategy and approach that is uniquely for me. And I don't know for sure what that is yet, but I'm exploring and experimenting because I can do so many things. I can do so many things with who I am and what I do. The amount of expression I have, ideas, just somebody just get find a God-centered princess, prince, queen, and king just to fund me, because the amount of projects and ideas that I have to be of service is just, they're it factor ideas, you know? So going through uh, the experiences of who I am, like as an entrepreneur, while I'm navigating this expansion and holding all the tension around uncertainty, holding space for it, acknowledging the void within, the darkness that I'm in. It's not a and what I found out this week is purposeful. It's not something that I did to be in there. It's it's meaningful. It's in alignment. The darkness and void is, I'm supposed to be here. And it is, like I said, it's humiliating to my ego because she don't understand. She don't get it. But my soul and spirit is trusting and surrendering and doing what I can to keep, um, you know, keep my bearings, you know. I got bills like the next person. But my point in saying all of that is that I feel like collectively we are grieving how dependent we've been on these identities for safety, for security, for feeling like we're adults. We're adults. We pay our bills, our credit scores, and taxes. We're adults. I got my own house. We're adults. You know what I mean? It's like we followed the rules. We're adults. You know? And it's literally an artificial, it's an artificial like box. It's an artificial world. Anytime someone can create a numbers game and dictate how we feel about ourselves, that's powerful. When your credit score look a certain way, when your bank account look a certain way, and it changes our perceptions of ourselves, that's powerful. And that's too much power on oneself. That's too much. No one should have that type of power. And we are having to release and detach ourselves from things that told us if we are this, if we are that, if we have this, if we do this, then we are worthy. Then we can feel pride. Then we can feel esteem about ourselves. Now, I don't want to take away from the natural esteem that you feel when you can take care of your life. It's healthy. But when our identities and when our nervous systems are attached to these things, that's when it becomes an issue, in my opinion. And so when I say affirmations for America, it's not about just America. It's about how it's about everybody who has been impacted by this country. You know what I mean? Y'all, one of the things, and we're gonna do our um, I'm gonna guide us in an affirmation meditation when we close out. But I definitely wanted to share what came up for me, what's been coming up for me, and I send love. I send love to everyone on this planet, every child, every human being. whose safety has been compromised. Child, who is this person keep? Um, just remove them out the live. Um, yeah, everybody who feels their sense of safety has been compromised. You know? Hold on, y'all. So yeah, I came in late. I will watch the replay of save. Yeah, I'm gonna save it, TJ. Yeah, I was just sharing what's been coming up for me lately, and on a collective level and as on an individual level. Like, as a full-time artist and entrepreneur, navigating legal things with my music, and where my heart is just about life, being in the darkness of I don't know and the uncertainty of so many things, and feeling compelled to serve, but also feeling the need to reserve your energy, protect my energy, and just trust this path that's set out for me. Just like 2022, just like 2023, just like 2024, just like 2019. Oh my God, 2019. 2019. 2018. There was a path I was taking in those years that I just look back on and I'm just like, wow, I really got through that. And the way everything played out was so unexpected. And while I'm going through the darkness, while I'm going through the process, I can lean more into, I may not be all the way leaned in, but I can lean more into trust and surrendering and, massaging the edge of how far I can go in my leaning in, without shocking my system, and to trust that I may not have the math, the chemistry in my understanding and logic of how my path is playing out. But when I tell you I'm leaning, and I can feel the tears behind my eyes in saying this, I'm leaning to surrender just a little bit more each day. Accept what is a little bit more each day. Trust that my highest good is nothing can compromise that each day. Like, things are gonna like literally pan out in a way that I did not expect. I have to trust how good it can get for me, despite the emotional, visual, physical distractions. I told someone the other day, it is a wild feeling to have created a whole entire album with someone who knows who you are. They've seen the behind the scenes integrity, the purity of their heart, of your heart, and they co-create some medicine with you for the world. And because of their own perceptions and fears and insecurities, because of their own fears and insecurities, they try and trap and strong arm you to control their sense of validation in what they've created, if that makes sense. You know, I have learned so much about humans, of how we operate when we are traumatized by things that have hurt us on a deep, deep level, close to the precious parts of ourselves, and it changes us, and how people will operate from that place. I watched a movie the other day. Um, Crops, what was the name of that movie we watched the other day with The Substance with Demi Moore? It's on this platform called Movie, I think. Um, y'all, this movie called The Substance with Demi Moore. First of all, she acted her tail off in that movie. When I tell you that movie landed so in deep resonance with me, because it is literally the reason why I do what I do. Because what her character and those storylines, those themes in that movie, it's all because of the way we are talking to ourselves. The way we have allowed situations, people shape our internal dialogue about ourselves, the perceptions of others, the the construct of psychological engineering of what we think and our public opinion. All of these things shape our inner dialogue, the way our parents talk to us, the way we learned how God talks to us. Like, our self-talk has been weaponized against us, and we maintain that instead of courting the transformation of how what we're saying to ourselves when we're triggered, when we're in pain, when we've been traumatized, when we've been disappointed, when we've been betrayed, when we win, when we succeed, when we meet the love of our lives. Like, all of these things, like, what are we saying to ourselves? When natural disasters happen, when the one we voted for didn't get elected, what is our self-talk saying? When we don't know how we're gonna pay our bills. Like, I'm a full-time artist. You better believe it's times where I'm just like, how am I gonna pay for this and that and this? And what comes up in your self-talk be crazy, crazy business. And so, usually, I won't say usually, but a lot of people who are traumatized by life, by people, and by scenarios and loss, that is what is controlling their internal audio, their internal film in perceiving and hearing you. And I'll never forget when this particular producer that I worked on this album with, when I realized, oh my gosh, there's nothing I can do to influence his perception of me. It was very early on, and you know what? I was so excited and so zealous about somebody wanting to partner with me on on my music, without a budget. It's just like, Michael Jackson had Quincy Jones, Missy Elliott had Timbaland, and as an artist, you just want somebody, it's not that believes in you, but they believe in themselves, a part of this vision. You know what I'm saying? They see the assignment, they see the possibilities in it, they see themselves in it. It's not, and so I remember, I just thought about this too. I remember the moment. Why didn't it was because we were creating dope shit. Because I'm thinking, like, why didn't I leave then? early on, but I remember realizing, dang, y'all, I'm just reflecting on stuff right now. I'm like, dang, I remember, and I don't know if I really wanted to pay attention, but I remember when I realized, yo, this man's perception of me is pretty, like, I can't perform my way out of that. Like, he sees me a certain way. And it was like, it don't matter how pure my heart is, no matter how open I am, no matter how I try to accommodate or hold space for him to communicate. It was just like, yo, he's literally like the only person in my life like thinks I'm difficult. Like, I work with teams, I collaborate. It's because of him. And so it's just like, even then I saw that, and it's just fascinating to me, not to demonize him, but it's fascinating to me to be able to watch human behavior operate from that place of trauma, even within myself, the things that I wrestle with. However, I'm always willing to put my perception on the table, the surgery table, because I know that I can, I know when a past version of myself or old dialogue wants to have a life again, because life has triggered it in some type of way. And I'm like, hold on, wait, not too much. There's a new sheriff in town. And so, um, one thing I can't say, and I don't want to say a learn, because I don't think that was a lesson. I don't think it is a lesson. It may be some lessons, but from my vantage point of understanding, I just feel like it's further in, is insight on things I've already learned, and how I can find myself more in vulnerable situations, dealing with people who don't talk to themselves in kind ways, people who are deeply insecure and damaged on an emotional level. I would definitely say the generosity of others has to, it should not come with suspicion, but with boundaries. Yeah, I agree. And so, um, it's very, I would say, complex and interesting to be called and invited to deeper levels of being open and vulnerable, but also simultaneously being called to practice radical sacred boundaries with your energy, you know? Because it's like the ego is just saying, F everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's like the ego, like, I'm going to protect myself from everybody. I'm not going to let nobody in. But you can't move that way. Because the human soul, the human body was not designed to be independent. So it was designed to be interdependent. And so there's an opening and vulnerability that I feel like I'm being invited to. I won't even say invited to. I'm in it. I'm in it. I've always been open. I've always been vulnerable. But it's just like, there's just a deeper level that's happening within me, you know, especially with the uncertainty piece, with my career in music, the uncertainty with me as an entrepreneur. There's an ideal version of me that I will want to embody more now. And my ego is not okay. Like, I can accept what it is, but I can also be annoyed by it, you know. And I can speak to where it's coming from, my ego. Like, I hold space for her. And she would have loved to embody more of this ideal version of me for this current season of my life. And so I'm in practice with that version of me, that future self, my truest self. But in that embodiment, what I am her by just being present with you all, being open and connecting with you guys. This is it's not just me being I'm a down to earth, real round the way girl. This is a powerful this is a powerful act. This is a powerful gesture. This is a powerful invitation. If we could see what is happening in the spiritual realm by me just holding space, I can't hear you guys, I can't see you guys, but I can feel y'all. And then it feels like I'm literally talking to myself. I mean, in reality, I'm kind of am, but I'm not. I'm talking to y'all through the phone. Let me read some of y'all comments. It says, I felt like that because of something I went through with the client. I'm like, what's the purpose of being nice when I keep getting hurt in the process? Thank you, Tony. Your music continues to change my life every day. Thank you so much. There are things that we can seek in another that throw us out of balance and cause us to lose our sovereignty through placing that responsibility need on another. Yeah. And I'm telling you, with that producer, I I remember just making sure I calculated my actions in a way that was like, I manifested this. I'm so grateful for it. I get the opportunity to practice boundaries, healthy communication. And I really realized that when you're in therapy and you're doing this personal development work and you're spending time with your higher self, you're journaling, you're meditating, you're taking care of your body, you're invested, you're devoted to this intimate relationship with your body, mind, and soul and habits. Even if you're not doing it, you know what I'm saying, the way you want to do it consistently, when you're in that devotion with that, it only works with people who are in devotion. You know what I'm saying? The tools only work with people who are in practice with those tools too. If I'm going to, if I am a professional basketball player that has made it to the NBA, that the only way the game is going to win if I'm with people who, if I'm playing on a team with people who went through a process of practice, discipline, training, enrollment, initiation into that level of being able to play the game at a highest degree to win the championship, to win the games, to win the season. It's really practical, for real, for real. It's like the NBA team is not gonna book people who they're not gonna enlist people who just watch basketball every week, or they're not gonna just enlist somebody who plays really good in middle school or high school. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to um, being close with people on a professional and personal level, it's like, yo, these tools that we've been investing in and sharpening and working on and dropping and just being devoted, not obsessed, but devoted in devotion. They only work with people who are using those same tools and are in devotion themselves. And even with people who have the tools, that does not give anyone a license to release all boundaries. You still have to have boundaries with humans all across the board, you know? So with that being said, the greatest tool that we can use right now, one of them, is community care. A lot of us have been practicing self-care. A lot of us should be very proud for the way we have been interested, invested, you know, intellectualizing and integrating self-care in our lives in such a busy, urgent, life, you know, to be able to say, hey, I matter too. Major, 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 major flex. To be able to intentionally do something that's very countercultural, which is to prioritize your well-being over everything. However, I believe that is required, but I don't think that is the destination. I believe the destination is community care. We practice these tools, we practice these rituals, we get therapy, we listen to affirmation music to care for ourselves, care for our humanity, care for our soul. So we can open ourselves up to be able to do that with others. When you hold space for yourself, you're able to hold space for others. We are not supposed to be in this rat race of consciousness and healing and expansion and evolution. It's going to happen regardless. Growth is happening regardless. Healing is happening regardless. But what makes the journey that much more sweeter is when you can share your self-love with others and they can share their self-love with you. When you can share your humanity with others and vice versa, when you can share your divine self, your intuitive self, your spirituality, your tender self, your growing self with others and vice versa, we found a sweet spot, ladies and gentlemen. Because I it's sweet when you get hugged, when you get affection, when you know someone cares. A lot of times, whether someone's conscious or not, we be surprised. A lot of us don't want nobody to rescue us. We just want somebody to hold our hands while we go through what we alone can go through. Community care is the currency that we all need right now. And it's demanding us to get our ish together so we don't sabotage it, so we don't compromise it, we don't resist it, we don't become overly suspicious of it. Yes, absolutely. I see all the yeses in here. Everybody can feel it. I said in my live a couple weeks ago, there was an Instagram I posted. I posted a picture, a screenshot of a comment someone made, I believe, on my threads. And she said, I wonder how slaves regulated their nervous system. And I was like, wow, that's a real good ass question. And I just sat there and sat with that. Was like, how did they do that? Because you just weren't working, you know, to pick cotton. There was barbaric trauma that human beings went through. How the heck did y'all regulate yourselves? And I sat with that and I was just like, man, they probably danced together. They probably sung together. They probably cooked together. Probably ate together. They probably created together. They probably laughed together. They probably cursed together. Like, went through trauma together. Held to, just, it was a togetherness. And so, no matter what we're going through in this reality, in this timeline, no matter where we're at in our timeline of growth, Our bodies, our minds, our souls, our hearts, our nervous systems are craving and demanding community care, connection. In affirmation music, one of my sincerest whys behind affirmation music is for us to have healthier communication with ourselves so we can have healthier communication with others. I have time and time again seen so many connections that I did not want to let go. So many quarrels occur, just divisiveness and evil happening between people I love. Growing up, seeing that, and it all boiled down to communication, violent communication, listening to react, not listening to understand and respond. Communication is a skill set. Relationships require skill sets. Affirmation music, you push play and you're immediately saying statements to yourself. You shift your you rewire your whole neurological system when you speak those words and you're speaking to yourself. Then it starts to cultivate a different relationship with yourself because every healthy relationship requires healthy communication. There's no way I can relate to myself in healthy ways if I'm not talking to myself in healthy ways. There's no way that I can relate to you in healthy ways if I am not talking to myself in healthy ways because it's all interconnected. You know what's so interesting? I will actually want a womb. You know how everybody, you know how people have hairstylists and people who have like doctors and dentists and mechanics, like, or massage therapists they go to, or therapists. I want like a womb, like, I want somebody that is womb down, A to Z. They know everything, and I can like go to them every month, like once a month or once a quarter. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to, if I'm being honest with you, I don't really want to learn all the things on my own. I don't have the space or bandwidth to go down that rabbit hole. But if I had like a womb, uh, guide, coach, uh, womb, I don't know, you know what I mean? I just feel like, hey, you're so right when you talk about if women did the work to connect with their womb. Yeah, we're about to have a full moon. Wow, that's beautiful, Joanne. I love that. I love that. Because it children growing up with adults who talk to themselves better, healthier, we change the world that way. We change it. Yeah, womb wisdom, like a womb sage. Let me call that into I'm gonna call that into while the full moon is cooking right now. It's cooking up. I don't think it's quite there yet, but it's almost there. I want a womb. I want a womb guy. I want somebody who's not dogmatic about it. I want somebody who is, um, yeah, I want some, there's a certain energy that I will want with someone. Cause I don't want it. Yeah. I almost want the person to be like indigenous or something like that. I don't know. But I'm gonna have to sit with that. But I would love like a womb coach, somebody who uh is like a womb sage. You can tap into ancestors lineage, especially for the mitochondria DNA. Ooh, You talking that talk right there. You just need to be tapped into the womb by simply sitting in silence and asking questions. I'm an energy here, and I found this to be the most profound. No, you know what's so wild about you? What you're saying? You're so right. You're so right, because some of the most profound, the music. If you listen to my music, 9 times out of 10, 9.99 times out of 10, it was because I was sitting down and I said, what is to be said? What do I need to hear? How do I need to talk to myself? I mean, getting present and getting still with the womb it's major. It's major. It's a world. It's a whole universe to operate from the womb space. I would just want a womb guide just to be an ally, not a dependent. Like, I need that. I would just want it. I would just want it. You know? Silence opens up the divine listening. Yeah. Because I feel like if I have a dentist, I should have a womb, expert in my life. Like, you know, our womb connects us to the earth's womb and the cosmic womb. It goes beyond yoni, eggs, and steams. No. Okay, I'm going to say this because now you're taking me off. Like, I feel like I'm going, I won't say off, but you get me into, okay, get me into something I would love to talk about. But we're going to, I want to do the affirmations for America meditation before we close out. But I wrote something today, y'all. Okay, it's not all the way together, okay? So if it don't make sense, it's because I haven't fully fleshed it out. I just had to get it down onto my notes. That's so wild that I have it up right now. But I just wanted to put it on my notes fast because it came to me. Okay, so if it doesn't make sense, it's because it's not supposed to. I wrote, feeling the human kingdom come through the birthing canal of my womb, breaking the darkness of my vagina as life grows outside of me, day and night goes in and out of my sight as the sons and daughters travel from my womb to the world, back into my great womb, the soil. My heart witnessed what has traveled from outside of my body back into the great body. So let me explain, okay? Today, I think it was today. It was this morning after my meditation. This morning, I watched a video about the cycle that the awakened woman goes through with descending into the dark and ascending into the light. And after meditating on that video and journaling about it, what came to me was this. And basically what I felt from my womb space where I was sitting with her was that there is a portal connection between the earth and the woman. The earth is the great body, the great womb. And we are like this physical twin of that. Like, we're these like individual twins of the great womb. And to the point where we're in constant exchange. The great mother, yes. And so the mother of all mothers, and that we have these bodies that grow inside of our wombs, and then they grow, they grow, they age, and then they go back to the soil. They go back into the ether world. That energy that was growing and developing bones, developing a brain, an ear, an arm, a heartbeat, nerves and neurons. That energy that was doing that inside of the womb ends up activating this body it designed. And then we birth it out and it grows and then it returns right back. That's what came up in my time with the womb this morning. And so it really made me feel like whether I have children or not, there is a prophetic nature between me and the earth that we're constantly fulfilling. You know? Hi. And so, yeah. And so that is a sacred encounter that I definitely feel called to explore more of. Because when I did that this morning, there's something that came over me that gave me clarity about the void, the emptiness that I'm feeling, and the I don't know, and the uncertainty. I felt that there was a wisdom that was coming through me that I may not, be able to articulate it all, but I can feel it. I can feel a working happening within me that's beyond my logic. But yet at the same time, it doesn't mean that that feels good to me. There's a surrendering that is painful to the parts of me that hasn't surrendered before, or surrendering hasn't got into those corners of me yet. There's a pain. There's a pain of letting go of, and I'm going to say this and then we'll go into our affirmation meditation. There's a pain that I'm feeling that is a holy pain because it's cutting through things. It's cutting through familiar patterns that are not, you know, aligned. It's like, and when I say familiar patterns, I'm talking about mental responses, emotional responses to life circumstances, life's challenges and conditions. Like, there's a pain cutting through all of those habits and patterns, and there's a emerging commitment to creating new patterns in the way I rehearse conversations in my mind, the way I repeat certain things in my speech, in my thoughts when I wake up, or when I remember this scenario and how it feels. Like, what am I saying to that? Like, that's happening. Many seek to fill the void, but the void isn't to be filled. Yes, because it's infinite spaciousness. It's infinite spaciousness. And as much as I have loved where affirmation music has taken me, as much as I love the process of creating music, and I feel like I found something, because y'all know I was a life coach for several years. This artist thing is very new, was never on my vision board. There's something sensational about a dream coming true that you never dreamed before, and you discovered something about yourself you never knew that was there. You didn't know you had a voice. You didn't know that you could ride. You can use your words and your poetry and your deepness to go to music in a way where it lands for people all around the world. Like, there's something sensational about that to every part of me. And not releasing my album, seeing the messiness of where it is right now, it's like putting me into a place of surrendering or has brought me so much sensationalism, so much joy, so much gratitude, so much power, so much wisdom, so many lessons, so much change, transformation, and enlightenment, being able to also put that at the altar. You know, getting these beautiful experiences, beautiful opportunities, beautiful versions of you, and being able to say, yes, I am willing to put that at the altar too. Maybe not my connection to it, but my attachment to it, a dependence on it, and allowing things to flow just like it has always flown. And to be able to still show up in service as who I will always be. And that's love. And if any of you who are challenged by putting your identities on the altar, putting your attachments to your identities at the altar, we are powerful. We can put it all on the altar and feel like we're left with nothing and still have everything. I'm committed to see that through as the truth, you know? And the only way for that to happen is to go within. Oh, I'm such a crybaby. I'm a feeler, I can't help it. This is a perfect time to get into the affirmation. Okay. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Out of the mouth. Let's take another one in through the nose. Out of the mouth. Let's take another deep cleansing breath in through the nose. Make it a good one. Out of the mouth. Let's take our hands, press them back like this. Stretch our arms. Lift your arm up like this. Pull that right there. Make sure you're breathing and not holding your breath. Hold it. Breathe into it. Wherever tension is, just breathe into it. Feel the relaxation going into that tension. Okay, release that arm. Put the opposite arm up. Stretch that, pull it with the other hand. Oh, I feel that. Let it just be there right now. Make sure you're breathing and not holding your breath. And release. Now look to your left. Go as far as you can. Look to your right. Go as far as you can. Take your time. Put your head down, into the neck, into the chest. Breathe into it. Put your head back. Go as far as you can. head to the center. And just sit. Just sit for a second in the silence. Close your eyes. Get present with the body. Feel all that you receive from this exchange. Sit with the silence. Make sure the face is relaxed. Make sure the jaw is relaxed. And just receive these words of affirmation for America, for the world, for humanity, and for the self. I open myself to the connection I have with love, with Source, and with all of myself. I open myself to the wisdom of the times, the wisdom of pain and suffering, the wisdom of my sovereignty, my will, the wisdom of my emotions, of my perceptions, my devotions, my enlightenments, and the way I'm changing. I'm open to this wisdom. I open my heart just a little bit more in this moment. I open my womb. I open myself up to my womb now through the receiving of these affirmations, through my openness to connection. Guide me, Great Spirit. Guide me, womb wisdom, to see through the illusions of powerlessness, hopelessness, devastation. Guide me to see through the illusions of the stories that I've told myself, the emotions that are on repeat. I open myself to the wisdom of my womb, to the wisdom of the Great Spirit within me, to see through, feel through, hear through the illusions of everything that is not true. Wherever limitation is, I'm open to see infinite potential. Wherever uncertainty is, I choose to see possibility. I activate my imagination to reimagine circumstances and conditions. Even if the imagination is just to explore possible goodness in every area of my life. I'm devoted to wearing my sovereignty more in my mental health. I'm devoted to wearing my sovereignty, embodying my sovereignty, fitting into my sovereignty in my emotional habits. I can be honest about my human experience without over-identifying and attaching to my human experience. Sovereignty guide me. My birthright to be free and liberated guide me in these times. I release all codependency to governments, jobs, capitalism, consumerism, to regulate my safety, my identity, my existence. I define who I am by speaking myself into existence, by imagining the life I deserve to live, imagining the world I deserve to experience. I release all codependency on fantasies of people and relationships and intimacy and community. I'm creating good experiences with people by feeling good in my experience with myself. Wherever there is grief, wherever there is sadness, wherever there is uncertainty, even where there is fear, where there's still immaturity, I can bring all those spaces, all those versions of myself into the room of compassion and grace and mercy and confidence and sovereignty and holiness, commitment, consistency, every part of who I am that's not as appealing to me. I still hold space to be compassionate and kind and gentle to those parts of me that are still developing, still being integrated. I humble myself to my journey. I humble myself to my infinite potential, knowing all the work I can do, all the work that I've done. I can still bow to the ways I'm still growing and maturing and learning. Now we affirm that we hold space for our individual selves, but now we affirm that we hold space for our collective self that is connected to Source, manifested as individual versions of Source. We hold space for the fragility of life, the fragility of the human body, the fragility of human perception. We hold space for that, and we speak strength to not just get through a thing, but to be able to feel it, to be able to be with it, to be able to rest in it, to be able to laugh in it, to be able to enjoy others, enjoy food, and enjoy the mundane in the midst of all of it. I am worthy of holding space for the duality of my entire being, for the duality of this reality of life. I'm a multidimensional being. I deserve to hold space for my joy, my sadness, the world's sadness, the world joy, the change of the world, the change within myself. And I get to navigate and dance that balance. So when I have space for this and when I don't have space and bandwidth for this, I self-govern myself in that way to know myself, to know my truth, my authenticity. I deserve to be this way with me. I deserve to be this way in my experience. I deserve to speak this loving to my life. We hold space for people on this planet that are going through tragedy and despair and fear and painful vulnerability. The homeless, the hungry, the victims of injustice, the children in Congo, the families in every Eastern country, the women all around the world. We affirm love into every corner of the people, every corner of where the people are fragile, vulnerable, they feel helpless, spirit. Draw them, magnetize loving kindness towards their needs. Not just one person, but the collective. We join together in love and affirm this for our human brothers and sisters. This is our quantum power to be able to speak and mean and intend and feel the reality that our world, that the human family deserves to see, witness, feel, and experience. I choose to know this power. I choose to accept this power. I choose to operate in this quantum power, that the words that I speak with love, feel with love, intend with love, they travel to all the places these words can bring life, solutions, and healing to. I am a powerful being. I'm a powerful mind. I'm a powerful heart. Wherever there is gaps and glitches, the power that is within me fills those spaces to be bountiful and to be able to travel through the cycles of my life, of my journey, of my growth, of my enlightenment, of my evolution with grace, with trust. May we trust like never before during these times. As things change for the sake of evolution, for the sake of connection, back home to source within, we surrender our control and we accept what is while still claiming and speaking goodness into the world, goodness into our lives. May everything we touch be blessed as it is in alignment with the great will for our lives to be love as love. May this affirmation animate itself in real time in our lives on tomorrow, on this week, for the remainder of our life, so we can see how powerful and alive these words are. So be it. So it is. My power just went out right when it ended. That's crazy. Are you guys still there? That is wild. Why would the power go out right when it ended? You're welcome. That is so wild. Thank you. We are powerful. Those of you who want to join the virtual circle tomorrow at noon Eastern Standard Time, click the link in my bio to join. It's only $29. If it resonates with you, you got to feel the yes. If not, share this video with someone that may resonate. If you guys want to share currency with me, all my currency platforms, Cash App, Venmo, all of that is in my bio. But most importantly, just be gentle with yourself, okay? And I pray that you guys received something tonight. I feel the yes, but can't afford it till Monday. No worries at all. If those of you who are not able to join tomorrow, you guys can join my community, my membership community called Affirmation. That link is in the bio as well. And yeah, I would, if I could, next time. You're welcome. Thank you for joining the YouTube. Thank you for joining the YouTube Live. All right, good night, y'all. Peace. Again, be gentle with yourselves.